When someone leaves you, know that they are certain about their decision in that moment and that they're relieved. Hello everyone, I'm Mel. Welcome back to the channel. To the new and returning subscribers, welcome. It's lovely to see you again. And if you're new around here, please feel free to look around, check out the other videos on the channel. And if this is your sort of vibe, click the subscribe button below and join the family. Today I want to talk about breakups. Anyone who's ever experienced a breakup knows that it's one of the worst feelings in the world. And it's especially terrible when you're the one who's been jilted, when you've been dumped, when you've been cast aside. The pain is tenfold. So the focus of today's video is on the dumpees, the people who have been cast aside in the relationship. I see you and I'm here to talk to you, all right? Okay, let's get started. Let me set the scene, all right? So imagine you're living your best life, minding your own business, drinking water, exercising. And you're one half of like a couple, you know? Of course, it's not perfect. The relationship is not perfect. Nothing in this world ever is perfect, right? You guys have your ups and your downs, but at the end of the day, you're good, you know? Not the worst thing ever. You're living in this bubble, right? In this world that you've created, you know, you're so enmeshed in the plans that you have with your partner. Then one day, out of nowhere, on a random Tuesday, your partner says to you, I think we should break up. Pop! That little bubble has burst. What do you do when you have been dumped? So this video is just a quick guide on how to survive the first 72 hours of a breakup so that you don't kill anyone or go insane. Keep watching. Before we do a deep dive into these survival tactics, I want to share a harsh truth from a place of love surrounding the mentality of the dumper once they pull the trigger on your relationship. Most of you might not know this, but people don't break up with their significant others on a whim. Or just because you had some little fight. No. A breakup is usually 95% of the time premeditated. That person would have thought about it for quite a long time, worked through the doubts that they have about the relationship, started planning their exit routes, and possibly, you know, started mentally preparing for the break. So they're prepared. They have the upper hand. They have the power because they know what they're going to do. There you are, busy hanging up memories on the wall, decorating your home with all the plans, the dreams, the ambitions that you have for you and your partner, right? Whilst on the other hand, this person you're supposed to be building it already has one foot out the door. The thing is, as people, we mostly act oblivious when a relationship suddenly ends. But the truth of the matter is that the mind sees what it wants to see. And if we're perfectly honest with ourselves, the writing will be on the wall for a very long time. So when someone leaves you, know that they are certain about their decision in that moment and that they're relieved. I know it's not nice to hear, but it's the truth of the matter. Of course, there might be a little bit of guilt sprinkled in there because at least no normal person wants to hurt someone else, especially someone who they shared a bond with at some point. But when all is said and done, this person is relieved to see the backside of you. So this brings me to my first survival tactic. When you have just been dumped, thou shan't grovel, beg, plead, threaten, cajole, do anything of that nature when you've been dumped. No, we are not doing that. Listen, I've already told you that the person you're dealing with doesn't care. They're happy with their decision. They're relieved that it is over and they can move on. Woosa, it's done. Finito. So your pleas, your tears, your tantrums are pretty much lost on them. If anything, you're going to irritate the hell out of them, you know? Of course, in some cases, some people will be moved to sympathy by your tears or your bargaining. And they might even recant on their breakup and promise, to try and work on things. But the truth of the matter is that you are just postponing the inevitable. Survival tactic number 2. Allow yourself to feel every single emotion. Do not bottle anything in. Because if you bottle it in, it will explode eventually because that pressure will build up. So feel every emotion. Because when you break up with someone, you're losing a lot, You're losing like the certainty of being part of a couple. And sometimes your identity might even be wrapped up in your coupledom. And you don't know who you are outside of the relationship. You don't know who you are if you're not Takunda's girl. You don't know who you are if you're not Michelle's boyfriend. You know what I mean? It gets a bit iffy and it's hard to process. So you might get angry. You might be hurt. You might feel betrayed. You might feel lost, Or I think the worst part of a breakup, one of the worst parts of a breakup is that you're losing a friend. You're losing a friend, a confidant, a ride or die, your partner in crime. Because, come on, let's be honest, when we enter into relationships, we tend to confide less and less in our family and friends, and we start to pour everything into our partners. Your partner is the one who knows that you can't stand Susan from HR, Your partner knows when you have like those little victories, like at the fuel pump and the guy mistakenly puts 15 cents more, and you're like, yes, 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 yes. You tell them such small details. You go to your partner with your baggage, the good, the bad, the ugly, and you start to unpack in front of them. And they do the same. You tell each other things that you wouldn't ordinarily tell other people. And you have a bond. You're literally sitting in front of each other naked with your chest wide open. And you're sharing. They're your best friends. They are your everything, But when a breakup happens, you find yourself in a place where you still got so much to say, but no one to talk to. And you're just bleeding all over the place. So it's understandable if you cry. It's understandable if your emotions are a roller coaster. It's okay. Let it out. 3, if you want to survive the first 72 hours of a breakup, face reality square in the eyeballs like this, Face reality. And what does that mean? It means kill hope. Don't even entertain that, this breakup might be temporary. They'll come back. No, it's done, sir. It's done, ma'am. Let go and let God. Let go of that future that you'd envisaged for you and that girl or that man. You understand? I know it's a bit hard, especially when you think of all the places that you wanted to go, all of the plans that you had, all those cute baby names, and suddenly you have to let go. Part of also facing reality means that you have to accept that some of the habits and routines or rituals that you had as a couple are gone. It means accepting that you're going to have a lot of empty spaces in your day. For example, you'll not get that good morning text or that good night text. There's no more Pizza Tuesday. There is no more Sunday brunch or Saturday gochi gochi. You have to find a new way to navigate your life without that person and find new ways to fill the hole that is left behind. The 4th survival tactic that I have is perhaps the harshest, but I think it's one of the most important things you can do for yourself. Accept that your ex no longer wants you. Accept that whatever affection they might have harbored for you in the past, whatever feelings they might have had, it's all gone. It's done and dusted. That way you will save yourself a world of hurt, okay? I know that what normally happens is that when you break up with someone, you start to idealize them. You start to put them on this pedestal, you forget all the bad stuff they did, and you start to only remember the good stuff, and you want that. Because sometimes love is a drug, isn't it? The more you get it, the more you want it. And when it's taken away, you're going to get into shock. Your system is going to get into shock and you start to withdraw, and the symptoms are not good. You're going to be angry, you're going to be shaking, you're going to be so sad, and a whole range of crazy emotions. But the sooner you accept that, the better it is for you. I'm not saying hate them, but accept that they've made a decision to move on and you have to deal with your emotions. The thing is, people, we are self-serving. You understand? When someone breaks up with you, they're not thinking about you, they're thinking of themselves. And if you're honest, when you've broken up with someone else, you were not thinking of them, you're thinking of what's in your best interest. You didn't care about what they're going to do with their emotions. So at the end of the day, your emotions are your business. You need to deal with them. Those are some of my key tips on how to survive the first 72 hours of a breakup. During that time, you're normally shell-shocked and you want to react and your emotions are all over the place. But remember, keep your dignity intact. Don't beg. If someone wants to leave, open the door and let them leave. And allow yourself to feel emotions. Grief is a natural reaction to loss. When you go through the death of a relationship, you will mourn it like if you were to lose someone, because you're literally losing something of great importance to you. Face reality, let go of hope. Let go of, couple habits or rituals. Let go of the future plans that you had. Because you know what's dangerous about not letting go of some of these things and not facing reality is that you've been broken up with, right? Demoted from girlfriend to ex, boyfriend to ex. If you're not careful, you're gonna get conscripted into a new role. Booty call, friend with benefits. You're gonna get a role that you don't want. If you cannot be the Mrs. or the Mr., and if that is what you wanted, don't settle for anything less. Otherwise, you're gonna be circling the same old mulberry bush for years and years. You'll be the sort of person who will be hung up on your ex 10 years after the breakup, and though they've married someone else, started a family, done this, traveled the world, and your whole world still evolves around them. People will breadcrumb you, give you just a little bit of affection and attention to keep you around. They will keep you in their orbit with no intention of bringing you into their solar system. You just be circling them with no purpose. And trust me, when you allow people to reduce you to a booty call, but that should be a choice. But in this instance, it's not a good thing. If you allow people to reduce you to a friend with benefits when you once had girlfriend-boyfriend status, they have zero respect for you. And that's the truth. Lastly, when you accept that the love is gone, it's easier for you to pick up and get back on your feet because you've hit rock bottom. The person you love doesn't love you. What are you going to do? You can't force them. You can't make someone love you. So if someone doesn't love you and you can't force them, even if you try to bewitch them and give them love potion, someone doesn't love you, they don't love you. So what's left? It's the worst thing that could happen. So the only place that is left is up. So it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing, So I don't want this video to be too long, but I'll do a part 2. In the next video, we're going to talk about the stages that you will go through after a breakup. You have to go through the valley for you to emerge on the other side, on the mountaintop. We're also going to talk about what to do and what not to do whilst going through those various stages, and how to find your happy again, how to find your purpose, how to remember who you are, after a breakup. So I hope you guys will stick around for that video next week. I promise I will post it next week, because I don't leave like this cliffhanger and I just go silent. Anyway, we have come to the end of this video. I hope that you have enjoyed it, that you've learned something. And if you're going through a heartbreak, if you're going through a breakup and you're sad, remember that when it's raining, the best thing you can do is just let it pour. But once the rain is gone, the sun will come out again. So don't be too sad. Don't beat yourself up. Don't lose hope. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I leave my contact details in the description box below, so feel free to connect with me on Facebook and on Instagram. Connect with me on Instagram. I post a lot of fire pictures. No, I don't. But just connect with me. All right, until the next time, which is next week.